You're going to know which Daf Yomi shiur is right for you as soon as you finish this video. I didn't know which Daf Yomi shiur I should join because there's so many of them. So I did a deep dive into the top 11 Daf Yomi Shiurim in the world, and I break down in this video my favorite aspects of each of them. There's one shiur that I absolutely do not think is the right one for me. We're going to do that one at the very end. You'll see what I mean. Don't worry, it's not Lashon Hara. Also, I'm going to bring up the next up-and-coming person who more people need to know about because he gives a fire shiur. Hey, I'm Yaakov Langer, and you might know me from Yud with Sign, Meaningful People, but I'm here today on Living Lchaim to help you break down which Daf Yomi shiur is the right one for you. There are so many of them, and they're all beautiful, they're all great, but different people like different things, so let's get into it. Eli Stefansky, maybe one of the biggest shiurim. I love this shiur for so many reasons. First off, you get a chevra. You feel like you're part of the matzav. You feel you're in that global atmosphere. I know that I asked a few people, hey, which shiur should I join? People, they heard about it. The Stefansky shiur, the 8-minute daf, they all heard about it. They flooded my phone. So they're definitely a powerhouse in the chevra. They do good big siyumim, and it's really great. What's also very nice about the 8-minute daf is they have a live YouTube shiur every night. Well, I say night because if you're in New York, it's going to be late at night. Let's take a listen to some of his stuff.
Good morning, Rabbi Sai. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You bump in to the second rain. And this guy's mamish chrupping away. There are 12 mazalos. This is Ari. This is a scorpion because the sun is shining on this side. This side gets the light, and you're on earth, and all you see is 0. The mabel started in Yud Zayin Cheshvan. Prakim means Yom Tovim. Okay, not everybody knows. You literally do a show for you. It was a little bit of Tzar B'Lchaim. You had to get him mad.
The shiur goes for around 45 minutes. The first 10 minutes is reading emails, a lot of fun, a lot of jokes. It's definitely the most fun shiur out there. It's just straight up Gemara, not really any Rashi, Tosfos, or Raid. My favorite part of this shiur are his charts and props. Very interactive. He makes it live and fun. If he has to show how to shecht an animal, he'll bring an animal in, not actually shecht it on the spot, but or he has these like fun charts that he makes on, I think he makes it on Word. Maybe, Eli, we could get you some Photoshop lessons, but overall, it's a great shiur, a lot of fun, big powerhouse, and one of the top shiurim in the world. What people really like about his shiur also is you can send in an email and he reads the emails. So it really has that family feel that everyone loves.
And something I forgot to mention is that Eli and his chevra send you a free Gemara if you join their shiur, which is pretty nice. All you got to do is go to join.yomi.com/LL, stands for Living Lchaim, and you can see in the show notes, the link there. So easy, they explain it all, and you get a nice free art scroll, Masifta, free Gemara. Okay, next person is up.
Lakewood Daf Yomi, given by, do I call them Rabbi? Rav Sruly Bornstein? I don't think he's a rabbi, but either way, Rav Sruly Bornstein, he's great. Has also a really huge following. His shiur is around 35 to 40 minutes, followed by 20 to 25 minutes of rage. So it's great if you want the first beginning part of the shiur. No games, straight up, very, very, very clear Gemara, and then at the end, there's Raid, Rishonim, Achronim, really enjoyable. He usually does a live shiur. He's usually a daf ahead. My favorite part about his shiur is gotta be his Lakewood app. It's unbelievable. I know they had an old app and they revamped it recently, at least from the time I'm shooting this video, and it's incredible. Whether you're looking for, hey, I only have 5 minutes to do something, and you could segment it. Or if you want something on a specific parsha, it's incredible. It's one of probably the best Jewish apps out there, and that's my favorite part about his shiur. But again, really clear, people love him, and there's also that Achdus family feel. Let's listen to Sruly Bornstein.
The Raya of Siddur China was Lashon Hara. Behind their back, the Gemara says, the Gemara invokes Lashon Hara. He says, because that's the var. Says the Chafetz Chaim, it was really Lashon Hara. There's a carbon Pesach. Let's not get worried about the detail of my name. At the end of the day, figure out a way to circumvent that. The point is, in a person was not allowed to enter the Azara to do the Avodah, even if he was tar, unless he went to the mikvah. So if a person wanted to enter the Azara, seems intuitive, he would first have to go to the mikvah.
So clear. Next up is a person that I know for a few years now at this point. One of my Rabbeim, it's Rav Gav. And Rav Gav, you probably heard of as he's like one of the top speakers in the world, but now he got into the Daf Yomi game. I'm so happy that the All Daf app picked up Rav Gav. Rav Gav is the perfect blend of going quick, but also not too quick. The average length of his shiur is 25 minutes, which is great amount of time because it's not too quick, but also it's not too slow. Rav Gav's shiur isn't for the beginner, but it's for anyone who maybe went to yeshiva, already knows how to learn, because he does move rather quick, but also at the same time, it's slow enough so you could get the actual Gemara. He just focuses on the straight-up Gemara, doesn't really handle Rishonim or Achronim, and it's a great shiur. Rav Gav's shiur is not live, but you could listen in because he's a very funny person, and throughout he makes little jokes every here and there, but again, a serious, great shiur. Now we're going to listen to Rav Gav.
And the night they came back and all of them had these doobies, doo in their horns. There was a lady, there was this woman who lived near him, the Rabbi Khalid ben Dosa Meichan Abelisim. Now, the kasha, where did he get it from? I thought he didn't have any dinero, he didn't have any...
It's not important, but Rav Gav does great imitations of just different accents and different characters. Next up, we have Reb Moshe Elefant, one of the original Daf Yomi Shiurim. I remember growing up, he was the one giving the Daf before, I guess it was cool to give the Daf. Really great. Average, I would say, is 45 minutes. Very clear, all around. Great shiur.
When a person leaves this world, everything he did is spelled out in front of him. They tell him this is what you did in this place on this day. And he says yes. And they say sign on it.
My favorite part about Rabbi Elefant is it's clear that he's done Shas many times. He's really holding it, and you could really tell when you learn that with him. Okay, next up is one of my favorite people ever, Rav Aryeh Lebowitz. Rav in Northwood Mirror. He's a man of many hats. Daf Yomi, he's a Rav, he's a Rebbe, and Daf Yomi's on the list as well. Average shiur for him is 45 minutes. He's super clear. He knows the Gemara cold, and you could tell, and it comes out really, really smoothly. I don't know. But he does mix in to his shiur the raid, the Achronim, the Rishonim throughout. So probably more in the Daf, the first Amud. He's going to give more raid than the second Amud. Really good, really great, very, very clear. Let's take a look at Rabbi Leibowitz's shiur.
We're going to continue with some of the more famous stories in Maseches Tainis that come up in today's Daf. First, the story of Ilfa and Rabbi Yochanan, and then the story of Nachum Ish Gamzu and how he got the name Nachum Ish Gamzu. And then the Gemara is going to talk about Dever and how many people have to die in a given location in order for us to say that that place is in fact suffering from Dever. And then the Gemara is going to talk about Mekayamna. Rav said, I could do all of these wonderful things that Rav Huna did. I could imitate, I could mimic all of these behaviors. Levar Meha.
What I really loved about him is he has a lot of times he brings up halacha lemaisa or how it relates to the parsha, which is nice when you're doing the daf. Sometimes some people want just a straight up daf, tell it to me, that's it. And sometimes people say, hey, how does it relate to me in my life, today's day and age? And he does a really nice job at blending those worlds. He doesn't always do it, but my favorite part about Rabbi Leibowitz's shiur is he gives a little rundown before. It's very quick, but you kind of know what to expect coming up in the Daf Yomi, which is really nice. Sometimes you go into the Daf and you're like, what are we going to talk about today? And he really just breaks it down so you go, okay, now I can understand where we're going to get up to today, which is really nice. Just going to wait for that siren to stop. It's really loud. Okay, very similar to Rabbi Aryeh Lebowitz is Rav Shalom Rosner's shiur, and they're similar for the reason that Rabbi Lebowitz and Rabbi Rosner were actually chavrusas for many, many years. Rabbi Rosner's shiur is for around 50 minutes. A similar theme that Rabbi Rosner has to Rabbi Lebowitz is that he's giving so much raid on Amud Aleph that Amud Beis, it's like, okay, we only have a certain amount of time. Let's just rush through and get to finish the Gemara. So the first Amud, you're going to hear a lot of raid. Let's listen to Rabbi Rosner.
Enough to be considered halachically a roof underneath. It's mishupa. So one is allowed to sleep under that kila in a sukkah. That's not called a sukkah betocha sukkah. Lefisha ein la gag. It doesn't have a gag of a tefah. it is considered a sukkah and a sukkah. No, that's talking about a different type of kila.
People love Rabbi Rosner because he has so many great stories. My favorite part of Rabbi Rosner is actually his lumdus. Crams in so much lumdus, which is really nice and good to hear, especially I've been out of yeshiva for a few years, so it's nice to feel like I'm a little back in yeshiva. Don't forget, at the end of the video, I'm going to say my worst shiur. You want to hear what I'm going to say. Don't worry. Again, it's not Lashon Hara. Also coming up at the end of the video, I'm going to say the number one up-and-coming person that you could have maybe not heard about, but you probably want to. Next up, Reb Eli Mansour is obviously Sephardi. I am so Ashkenazi. I listened to a few of his shiurim, and they're around an hour long, and I actually really, really enjoyed them. Obviously, he pronounces the Gemara in the Sephardi way and brought up a lot of Rishonim Achronim that I personally have not been so used to, but if you're in the Sephardi world, you definitely have heard them. Really great. I loved a lot of the stories and ideas that he brought out. Here is Rabbi Mansour's shiur.
The one that's sprinkling its mashma, any of the korbanot. Not only Korban Pesach. Now, that's already a contradiction of something that we learned as well. Because we said, as a matter of fact, we said in the beginning of this Braita, that on...
An hour is a little long for me, but if you have the time, I highly recommend to check out his shiur. In the Sephardi community, he's huge. He gives it an awesome shiur. So for Rabbi Mansour, my favorite part was his length. I actually really liked it. It sometimes could be a little long, but if you have an hour to give, it really gives you the time to go through the daf and understand it, and he does a great job at explaining and making it interesting. This brings us to the fastest shiur you have ever heard in your entire life. Let me play for you this shiur.
Shalom to all. Today's daf is Beitz Daf Tez Zayin. We are starting Tez Vav Amud Beis, the last line, the fifth word on the line. And Raisa Amru Al Shlomie Hazaken, he said about Shlomie Hazaken, Kol Yamav Hayachal Chavod Shabbos. Every single day he would eat L'Kavod Shabbos. Matzah Behem Noel. If he found a nice fine animal, Omer, he would say Zula Shabbos. This is for Shabbos. Matzah Cheres Nohem. And if he found even a finer animal,
he's so quick. Rabbi Resnik's process is incredible. He records the shiur and he himself edits it to be perfectly in sync, and he edits his shiur to be perfect, that there's no ums, it just flows and flows. He's so quick. I feel like I have to talk faster in order to be on his level. You know how you could speed up these shiurim? I think he's the only shiur that I physically cannot understand it if I speed it up. What I love about Rabbi Resnik's shiur is he's typically 2 days ahead. His shiur is, I'm not kidding, average 12 to 13 minutes. It's way too quick for a lot of people because they just can't keep up. If you could keep up, it's amazing. It's also, I heard a lot of people use his shiur for Chazara. It's amazing for Chazara because if you know the shiur cold and you listen to his daf, it's perfect. Next up, we have Rabbi Shloime Schwartzberg, who has amazing, incredible website, daflchaim.com. We'll get to his actual shiur, but he has intros and outros and recaps. Really got to take a look at his website to see. He does amazing breakdowns of his shiur. So you could go on his website, you could see PDFs, you could see photos, you could see highlights. It's really nice. And a really cool feature of his website is you go on and you could watch him read the daf. Let me show you what I mean.
They asked the following question from Mechir Barabba. HaMeicher Abdul Surya, if someone sells his slave to someone in Surya, now Surya in the area we said was, that it's similar to Eretz Yisrael, that if someone wants...
I think this is the future. I think we're going to see many more shiurim doing this idea. I think Rabbi Schwartzberg is well ahead of many people in the tech side of it. It's really incredible to see. I think Rabbi Schwartzberg is technologically very advanced, and the beautiful part is you don't need to know technology in order to enjoy his shiur. It's actually for the people that don't know technology really well. You go in and you just get immersed into the world. Really, really nice use of tech. Okay, you're ready for someone who's up and coming, really incredible shiur. I actually know him from high school. He was a little older than me, and he was this guy who had everything really, really... His Gemaras were so neat always. He would write in, but it'd be perfect. He'd have notes on everything. Really great guy, really great at understanding things. Rabbi Avi Slansky, I really think he's the next big thing. So Rabbi Avi has ccdaf.org where you could go on, and also he has a shiur on YouTube every night, so you could go and watch. He also has that follow along idea. It's pretty basic though. You just go on, watch the video, and it's right behind him. He uses the green screen. You just follow along. His shiur is also really quick. It's average 20 minutes, very clear. Next big thing, for sure. Let's take a look at Rabbi Slansky's shiur.
Now the Gemara explains. Melech misdaber chol yom time. What's the reason? Amar Ba'ad Barzav Damar Krot says in the Torah. Melech b'yof yof techazena inecha. Your week there be new kohanim. So the Kohen Gadol would see people anew every single week. So take a haircut once a week. Kohen Hadirach l'shloshim yom minol. What is the reason why a regular Kohen takes a haircut once every 30 days? Says the Gemara. Asya para minazir. We learn out from the Nazir.
Okay, now for my least favorite Daf Yomi shiur. Let's just take a listen, and I think you'll understand why absolutely this one is not for me.
Melech Yechonyon is durch dem Teuer hat leider vertrieben. Gehen wir zu der übrige Shurim, der 5 Shurim, Shubem Mizrach.
So that's Rabbi Elimelech Friedman, and if you ask me, do I speak Yiddish? I would say nisht, which means not. So I clearly don't like it only because it's in Yiddish, but my father-in-law listens to his shiur and loves it. I enjoy listening to the shiur. I listened to a few of them just to get the feel of it. Maybe he throw in some English, but it was all in Yiddish. He speaks really Geschmack Yiddish. I don't know if there's like a thing called Geschmack Yiddish and regular Yiddish, but he definitely speaks Geschmack Yiddish. And if you're watching this video and you only speak Yiddish, you have no clue what I'm saying. But if you understand English and Yiddish, check out his shiur because it's really good. There you have it, a breakdown of all the shiurim. In the show notes, I'm going to have a link to every single one of the shiurim and wherever you can find them. Most of these are on All Daf, which is a great way to listen to shiurim. Very easy, great to use. They did not sponsor this video, but it's a great resource and you should totally download it and use it. The next Siyum Shas is going to be in the summer. That's going to be wild. This past Siyum Shas was crazy. It was in the winter, it was right before COVID, but it was so cold.
Freezing.
Imagine this one in the summer. You're going to have so many more people finishing it, making a Siyum Shas. Are you going to be one of them? You might be thinking, hey, it's maybe a little too late for me to start the daf. It's never too late. That's what the message you get from all these great Magidi Shiurim, that just start. There's no right or wrong time. Just start. If you do the daf, please in the comment section below, tell me and us, what's your favorite part about your shiur? Who shiur are you in, and what's your favorite part about your shiur? If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with someone else. We could always learn more about the daf. Special apologies to all the people that I forgot to include in this video. Okay, I know there's so many more people that give the daf, literally hundreds more. So this is just a breakdown. I couldn't do all of them. I really tried to sit and watch and listen to everyone, give them a fair shot. They're all really good, and there's no wrong shiur. I think different people like different people, and they relate to, maybe some people want more rate, maybe people want some more geschmackheit, maybe people want just quick to the point, maybe people have more time and want to learn the daf more in depth. There's no right or wrong. They're all really beautiful people doing beautiful things. I know you're watching this and you're like, you forgot to mention that in our Maggid shiur always brings up this idea, and I probably made a few mistakes here. I'm not perfect. I didn't do this for long enough. Honestly, I got to do each of these shiurim, the full Daf Yomi cycle. So there's 11 of them, 7. So come back in 77 years and I will have a really amazing, incredible breakdown. If you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're going to be trying to bring you other videos and podcasts to help you just enjoy your life more. This is a video that I wish I had when I was starting out doing the daf, and I don't know, someone needed to do it, so I did it. Hopefully you liked it.